Am I here? Happy Friday. I am going to do what I told you I was going to do the last 3 or 4 times. Make sure balances are right, so excuse the overlap probably that just happened there. Am I here? Happy Friday. Okay, I'm turning the music down, so you're going to have an echo for a minute. Last 3 or 4 times. Make sure balances are right, so excuse the overlap. The delay makes it really challenging. Am I here? Happy Friday. Okay, I'm turning the music down, so you're going to have an echo for a minute. Last 3 or 4 times. Make sure balances are right, so excuse the overlap. The delay makes it really challenging. Am I here? Happy Friday. Okay, I'm turning the music down, so you're going to have an echo for a minute. We had all kinds of echoing going on there. I still don't understand where that third echo comes from. But it must have something to do with, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it on my phone. Duh. Oh, okay, Richard just sent a text message. When was that? 1 minute ago? Music kind of loud? Oh, he tried to call me too. Okay, hang on. I'm going to open the stream though. Just open it in the YouTube app on my phone. Because then we shouldn't get an echo. I won't have to have it loud enough to, I won't have to have it loud enough to echo into my phone. Just loud enough for me to hear it. Just open it in the YouTube app on my phone. Because then we shouldn't get an echo. I won't have to have it loud enough to, okay, I'll just use that for my test. Welcome, hello, happy Friday. This is the first time in a long time that I've actually remembered to turn my mic on before I talked for 2 or 3 minutes. But that's because I really promised myself I was going to open up that other web page and let it run. And then just deal with the echo when the sound started on that. So, hi Matt and Mouse, thanks for stopping in. Happy Friday to you. And my old friend Erica Olson, thanks for being here. I hope we're going to have fun today. I consider myself pretty articulate. I'm an avid reader, so I think I have a pretty substantial vocabulary. But I'm here to tell you now that we're going to look at some words, and I'm going to try to say some words that are really going to put me to the test. So I've got also a collection of web pages already open. They're pronunciation pages, so you can, type in a word and have it tell you how to say it. But I've already discovered that there's at least one word on this list that you really can't find at any of those pages. There's a YouTube channel where a French guy pronounces big words. I don't know if I can get away with playing that during the stream, though, for copyright purposes, because his voice is pretty distinct. So I would imagine it would be easy for the Content ID system to pick that up. So I listened for that one a couple of times. I think I can say it without help. And then if there are others that I can't find, from among these, I think it's 3 pronunciation websites I have, then I'm just going to have to fake it, or we're going to have to skip it. I can take requests, but we'll see. I have 150 words on this list, Matt and Mouse, so whatever you're thinking of might already be there. Although I will tell you that there is an ingredient that's very common in shampoo that I don't see on this list. But I might just go grab my shampoo bottle and we can talk about that one. It's kind of scary, though, if you look at ingredients in products that you use or foods that you eat, because the bigger the word, probably the less healthy the compound or the chemical or the ingredient is. That's just my perception of it. But we'll start with our typical Friday. What am I doing? I'm planning my next cook and chat. I think it's Erica that encouraged me to get back to that. And I think it's just going to be a single dish because I think it takes like 10 minutes to put it together and then it needs to bake for 35 minutes. It's a sweet thing again. And I think I've solved the problem of not having audio when I use my phone as a second camera source. And it's none of those crazy wacky apps because I never could get any of them to work. And I tried a couple. But I think if you were watching a month or so ago, I learned about, it's not really an app because it's a web-based thing, where it's called Video Ninja, vdo.ninja/OBS, to use with OBS. And you send people a link for your room, so it's very similar to the StreamYard concept for those that might still be using StreamYard to broadcast your streams. And so it would be as if I had a guest on the show, and so I can use my phone and just, use that link to get into the room, and it adds the second camera, or you can, make that video source be the whole screen, and you can hear it, because, again, if it was someone I was interviewing on the show like I used to do, obviously you can hear them, and it doesn't require any downloads or anything like that. So I'm excited to do the next Cook and Chat, which will probably be on Sunday. For me, that felt like the easiest day to do it. And if Richard really does want to help with holding the camera and stuff, at least if I just do like a 35, 45 minute prep and bake and all of that thing, with some time in between, obviously, while it's in the oven. He doesn't stand there filming it while it's baking in the oven. Then I can come back and talk to y'all, and it won't be so such a workout for him. Because if you haven't had to hold a camera that long for anything, you don't know that after a while that really starts wearing your arms out. I think even someone that's in good shape would say that, but I know for sure for me, because when I've even just tried to go out and hold my camera out in front of me, or hold my camera, and I'm talking to the camera while I'm showing you things, and alternating between showing you what's in front of me and then showing you me. After a while, that gets really tiring. So, Schultzy, thanks for stopping in. Yes, you can catch the stream, rewatch crew later, if you will. Happy Friday. Be safe and have a good weekend. So, I think I've got that figured out, and I think I'm going to be doing another Cook and Chat on Sunday. If you missed it last night late, was it last night? It was Wednesday night. I did a late night stream again to do chapters 4 and 5 of the Phantasmagoria interactive movie horror fantasy game. Maybe some of you remember that game. I played it shortly after it was released way back in the day. It came out in 1998, and I'm having a fun time making my way back through it, but this last live gameplay was really challenging, and I remembered there was going to be this part coming up where I got lost every time I tried it in the past. So many twists and turns, and you have to do things in the right order for a lot of the game to be able to advance in the game. So it is getting pretty gory and pretty graphic. I do have the censored version playing now because I knew that was coming. And if you get a chance to watch some of the cutscenes and stuff someplace when it's not censored, if you're into that kind of stuff. I love horror movies and fantasy stuff. I mean, what a great combination. And so if you get a chance to watch some of that stuff somewhere, then you'll understand why, to be respectful to any sensitive eyes that might be watching, I just went ahead and put it on censored. So there are 7 chapters in the game. I'm hoping to get the last 2 chapters done with the next live stream, which all I can say it will happen in sometime in the next couple of weeks. And I'm still working on my 80s, Singing Through the 80s, which will be the next in my Decades series of top hits of music. And I really want to do it like a Name That Tune thing. I I'm just going to have to play with what I have now to see if that really will work and if that'll make sense, because for the songs that I don't know or can't remember, obviously that's no fun for anybody if we have to listen to, 3 minutes of, the background music while I'm thinking, what is this? What is this? So I have to figure out what to do with that. But because I'm wanting to challenge myself and make it like a Name That Tune, I don't want to rehearse it ahead of time. So right now what I'm doing is I am building a playlist of karaoke tracks for these songs. Now the bad part about that is that if I don't remember the song, even if I kind of remember the music, like I may not even know where to start. Where do the words start? Where does someone start singing? What are the words? And I don't want that to not be fun. So I may end up recording a bunch of them. And then when I get to one of those, I may have to cut it and then edit in like somebody doing a cover of that song or something that's not going to be a copyright issue for me. Typically when I record covers, there are no copyright problems. The only thing I run into is, being notified that I can't monetize that part of the video, that any money that's made from ads or, whatever money might be coming in from the video is going to be paid to the copyright holder. Most of the covers I've done have been a revenue sharing. So I get part of whatever the video makes and the copyright holder gets part. To me that seems fair because I'm not playing the original song by the original artist or band. It's my own thing, just using that music, but who am I to question the sovereignty of YouTube? Hey Jerry, thanks for being here. I hope you guys are doing good. Is the tree issue related to storms? I know we've got another potential for storms again here next week, y'all, and there's been historic rain amounts in central Texas, like in the Austin, Texas, San Antonio area. Just historic levels of rain and flooding in that part of the state. So, interestingly enough, I was just thinking yesterday, I guess, maybe this morning, that this is more like the weather that I remember in my younger days, especially as a kid, that as we moved more into summer, it is very common, or was very common, that in the afternoons and evenings you start having the storms build. I've talked about this before on the stream, and I think, if I remember right, I always believed that it was because during the day the sun is heating up the ground, and then as the sun is going down and the ground is cooling, that heat that's coming up off of the ground because it's no longer being cooked is rising into the air and interacting with water molecules and whatever, clouds and stuff are already there, and they grow and then they get big enough, and then there's, I guess electricity and energy that is happening while all that's coming up. So I just remember the good old days, and you could just pretty much count on a thunderstorm many days of the week during warm weather seasons. Yeah, Jerry says we need no more rain for a few weeks so he can cut hay. It's been a couple weeks already, I think, since he's been able to cut hay. Is that right? Because you can't cut it when it's wet. But you got to get it cut so that you can get your second cuts done while there's still a year left to do it. So, can't do anything about it. Everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. So, those are some of the things I'm doing here. Yancey's tank got cleaned a couple of days ago. Oh, it was so past time for that. And I decided to take all the gravel out of the bottom. It was so beautiful, and someone gifted her all of that gravel that was in the bottom. It really was so pretty because it was beautiful, like Caribbean blues and cream colors, and it was just so beautiful. And it was little tiny fish tank gravel, so I never had to worry that she was going to swallow something and choke, or But I just took it out because I feel like there were just areas where all it did was trap the stuff that I don't want in the tank. So I feel like it's already time to clean the filters again. But that's because we feed her in her tank. So people that are really smart and really have the setup and want to take the time will move their aquatic turtles into a separate tank to feed them. They have to eat in the water. I can't just put it up on her basking dock for her to eat it. She has to be able to eat her food in the water. But that means, bits of food over time, and obviously she's going to eliminate food and waste. But we've got 3 big filters to keep the water clean. It just can only last so long. And that's one of my least favorite jobs, just like the duck pond in their yard used to be. Oh, not a fun job to clean those out. So everything is new. I mean, the pumps and filters are the same, but I put new filter media in everything. But I just already see little bits of stuff that's kind of collecting around the outside of these filters. So I want to really try to stay on top of it. And I think it's going to be a little easier to keep it clean because I'll be able to see where, turtle poop and stuff is collecting, and I can scoop that out as I see it. Whereas before, those rocks would just kind of hide it. Oh yeah, turtle water and duck water, y'all. So the stuff that the ducks swim in and poop in and all, that's great. I think it's got a high nitrogen content, if I remember right, and so it's great for plants. That something else I learned this week. So I make sourdough bread. I always have sourdough starter around. FYI, if you need some mature, active sourdough starter, send me a message and I will mail some to you. I might try 2 different ways. So I might send you some like in a little, like canning jar, and I want to try dehydrating it. Super simple to do. I've just never done it because I haven't needed to do it. But I'd love to, if somebody needs some or wants some, to send you some, and I'll send you some of each kind, which means I'll need a little time once you let me know you need it, because the dehydrating process obviously takes a couple days. I don't have a dehydrator. You just spread it out on a pan literally and like bake it super, super low temperature in the oven. And I'll send you some, and then you can let me know what happens when you get it to your place and use it. I've never shipped it before. I've offered before. I think there's a cardinal. I'm seeing something red out in a tree out there, so I think there's a cardinal. We have cardinals here all the time. Anyway, so sourdough. I've been giving sourdough away. I posted on my neighborhood group that I had extra, so I've had people come by to pick some of that up, and still a couple people I think that are going to come sometime this weekend. I don't think there's anything else going on. Hallelujah for that. So we'll have a return dog friend of ours dropping off about 6:30 this evening to spend 3 or 4 days with us. Hey, Connie Cleary, how are you? Man, Connie's had some nasty weather up her way too. So, like way beyond just rain. I'm thankful now that all we're dealing with is mud and puddles. Anyway, let's. I'm gonna turn this phone up and just see how this sounds right now. Hey, Connie Cleary, how are you? Man, Connie's had some nasty weather up her way too. So. Okay, I don't hear the music, but I'm not gonna worry about it. I'd rather not hear the music at all than have the music be too loud. So, let's see what happens with these words. This is from a web page. Let me see what the name of the page is. writingbeginner.com. I'd never heard of it before, but I was just looking for a list of the longest words in English to see how much I could botch them if I try to say them. So I can tell you, too, that the first word on this list, when I was a little girl, it was the first word I remember thinking was the biggest word ever. And I'm doing good, Connie. I hope you're good. Again, I hope you're safe and the weather has not been too damaging for you. Hey, New Horizons Above and Beyond. Thanks for stopping in. So the longest word I can remember as a little girl, or thinking it was the longest word ever, it's number 1 on this list. And the list doesn't necessarily go from most common to least common or anything like that. It's kind of all a mix and match. And I thought at first I would start with a section that's more common, but then I was worried that I would get sidetracked and forget what I already did. So we're just going to start at the top and work our way down. So you'll see that when we get to the first word, it does have the definitions there too. So just for some did you know, we'll go over what the words mean. But I'm just going to apologize now because I guarantee you I will not be able to pronounce many, if not most of these correctly. So hopefully when I find it on one of these other pages, you'll be able to hear it. Some of them are computer-generated voices, and some of them are people that have said the word and have recorded it. But what else was I going to tell you about that? I felt like I was going to tell you something else about... Oh, and again, I might go get my shampoo bottle, and we'll look at that word that's in all the shampoos. But let's move over to... Oh, first I want to get it lined up again, right? And let's move over to the list of at least some of the longest words in English. All right, so it does have some sections, as you can see here. The classics are among them. And this very first word, anti-disestablishmentarianism, when I was a little girl, I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, that's the longest word in the whole world ever. Oh, how naive I was. So that word has 28 letters in it. I was able to say that one. And the definition is that it was opposition to the disestablishment of the Church of England. So obviously that would have been a word I learned in history class. Okay, now I got to figure out how I want to do this. Because on my OBS screen, these words are not real big. And I guess my prescription is changing again a little bit because I don't feel like I can see as well as I was seeing before. But if I make the words bigger on this screen, then it cuts off some of the definition over to the right of my screen. Yeah, it should be the right of your screen too. All right, second word. I don't know why this is considered a classic because I don't think I'd ever heard it or seen it before. But I think the word is floxinaucinil. Oh, wait. Floxinaucinil. Let me try it again. Floxinaucinilipilification. Floxinaucinil. Did I do that right? Okay, that is on one of these lists, so let me find it. Well, we're just going to put it in here. Oh, I got to copy it. I'm sure not going to spell it. Let's put it in here. Oh, let's put it in here. And see if it's there. Now, again, some of these don't have it. But let's see if you can hear it. I'm going to turn up the volume. And I'll turn off my mic while that's playing.
Floxinaucinilipilification. Floxinaucinilipilification. Floxinaucinilipilification.
Floxinaucinilipilification, which is the act of deeming something worthless. Why in the world would we need a word that big for that? Oh, okay, I made that too small now. Hang on, I gotta get... All right, we're going to move this over here, and we're going to stretch this out again a little bit because now I chopped off my chat. Okay, so that was word number 2. Now, this next word, I think my first introduction to this next word is on one of the very first episodes of the old USA Network TV show Psych, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. Hey, Mark, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. And so on the show, and the name of the episode for that show was The Spelling Bee, or just Spelling Bee. And this was one of the words that one of the character kids on the show, I mean, the main characters were not kids, but that was the setting for this episode, was at a spelling bee. And I'm pretty sure that was the first time I ever heard this word. So I'm going to try it myself. I'm pretty sure I did see this one on some of these pages if I butcher it. I mean, I'm sure I'll butcher it, but let's see what happens here. So this is number 3. Pneumo-ultramicroscopic silicovolcaniconiosis. Pneumo-ultramicroscopic silicovolcaniconiosis. I think I did it right, but let's see if that one comes up on this page. Okay, you ready? I said pneumo-ultramicroscopic silicovolcaniconiosis.
Pneumo-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Pneumo-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis.
So I left out a syllable. Pneumono. Pneumono-ultramicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. That is a lung disease caused by inhaling fine silicate or quartz dust, as one would find as a result of a volcano erupting. Okay, so let's see about this next one. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia, which is ironically the fear of long words. But let's see how close I was. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia. Now, I don't like it that so many of these sites, the person says the word so stinking fast. Okay, here's this one.
Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia.
I think I kind of got that right. Hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia. And I'm sure a lot of these words are like any other word. Somebody says it one way and another person says it another way. Can you put it in a sentence? Oh, wow. So I do not demonstrate hippopotomonstrosesquipedaliaphobia, which is ironically the fear of long words. Did that work? So, again, for the most part, it's fine when people say stuff a different way than the way another person might say it, but it really hurts my teeth to hear the word nuclear pronounced nuclear. Oh, that hurts me just to have to say it. Or the word realtor pronounced realtor. Because that's not a matter of just saying it a different way. You know, that's not tomato. That is somebody that's not looking at the word, someone that's not paying attention to the word. Nuclear would not be spelled like nuclear. So there's my soapbox. I'll get off of it now because I'm sure I'm going to butcher plenty of these that I don't need to be the kettle or the pot in this scenario. All right, next word on the list. Oh, anyone can say this one, right? Thanks to Mary Poppins, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which is a fictional word made famous by Mary Poppins. So you'd have to have seen the movie to know in what context that was used. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. That was clever that they could make a song and rhyme it. All right, next word, number 6. Let me look at it a second. Honorificabilitudinitatibus? Debilitudinitatibus. Honorificabilitudinitatibus. Honorificabilitudinitatibus, which means the state of being able to achieve honors. But let's see if that was a hit or a miss. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay, we're going to go to this one. Honorificabilitudinitatibus.
Honorificabilitudinitatibus. Honorificabilitudinitatibus.
Honorific abilitudinatatabus. Honorific abilitudinatatabus.
I think I got all those syllables. I really need to figure out how to get this here. I'm still wishing for a third monitor. I just can't figure out how to make it work. Okay, can we still see all the words? Yes. Honorificabilitudinatatabus. Say that 10 times fast. All right, next up, I don't think this one's too hard. Incomprehensibilities. The quality of being... Oh, I can make this bigger, though, now that I made that narrower. Okay. Incomprehensibilities. The quality of being impossible to understand. Incomprehensibleness. So I wonder if there's a incomprehensibleness. Is that a word? Incomprehensibilities. So if you're ever looking for if you're playing some kind of game where you need lots of syllables, I wish this would tell us how many syllables. It tells us how many letters are in each word, but some of these have like 12 and 13 syllables in them. That's mind-boggling. So number 7 wasn't too bad. Number 8, disproportionableness. I think I got that one just fine, which means the state of being out of proportion. Disproportionableness. Uncharacteristically, so that's an everyday word, I think. Uncharacteristically, not typically representative of one's character. Uncharacteristically. Inconsequentialities, things that are of little importance. Inconsequentialities. This is reminding me, so I have this board game that the kids and I used to play. The board game is called Hugger Mugger, and there's several components to it. So you spin you flick the little arrow, spin the wheel thing, and it lands on a number, I think, and that's the number of spaces you move on this board. And on the board are multiple categories of challenges. There's a vocabulary one, there's a spelling bee, there's a word scramble, there's a acronym, what does AFL-CIO stand for? There's a fill in the blank one. It seems like there might be another category. And so you have to answer that then to be able to spin again and keep going, with the objective being that you want to move into these special spaces that lie around the outside of the board that give you an opportunity to, I think you get to choose which category you want when you land in those spaces. And if you get the answer right when you're in that space, you get to see one of however many letters are in a secret word. The ultimate objective of the game is to know enough of the letters in the secret word that you can guess the secret word. So there's this wheel that has these little openings in it, and let's say it's a 6-letter word. You get on that first special space, you answer the question, and you can look at the first letter of the word. So, I mean, it sounds really involved, but it's not. And even when the kids were, like 7, 8, around that age, they really liked playing the game, except that they hated it when I chose or landed on the spelling bee. Because once upon a time, I could spell stuff that a word I'd never even used. It's a use it or lose it thing, so I can't say that it's something I can still do. But we had a lot of laughs about that because some word would come up and they would go, "Oh no, you won't get this one. There's no way you're not going to get this one." And then I would spell it. And they would just be half disgusted and half impressed. So some of these words are making me think about that. All right, so we've moved through the classics. Let's go on to medical marvels. I think most of these will be relatively familiar to me. So, number 11, electroencephalographically, relating to brain wave recording. Electroencephalographically, 27 letters. Number 12, otorhinolaryngologist, 21 letters. That's an ear, nose, and throat doctor. So when you go to the ear, nose, and throat doctor, he's really an otorhinolaryngologist. Or laryngologist. Auto meaning your ears, rhino meaning your nose, and laryngeal is the throat. Okay, ear, nose, and throat. Cardiothoracic vascularization. How many syllables is that? Cardiothoracic vascularization. 12 syllables, 29 letters. That is heart and lung surgery. Cardiothoracic vascularization. Immunoelectrophoretically. Immunoelectrophoretically. Relating to the electrical separation of molecules. 25 letters. Immunoelectrophoretically. Psychophysicotherapeutic. Oh, yeah, psychophysicaltherapeutics. 25 letters. The treatment of mental and physical disorders. Psychophysicaltherapeutics. I mean, you can see those roots in there, right? Psycho, mental or the mind. Physical body, and therapeutics. So, treatment. Pseudo-hypoparathyroidism. A rare inherited disorder that simulates hypoparathyroidism. Pseudo-hypoparathyroidism. 30 letters. Thyroparathyroidectomized. Thyroparathyroidectomized. Having had the thyroid and parathyroid glands removed. So I guess that would be a thyroparathyroidectomy, right? To have them, the process of taking them out, or the name of the surgery to take them out. Number 18, hematospectrophotometrically. Hematospectrophotometrically. Related to the measurement of blood light absorption. Blood light absorption. Blood light absorption. Your blood absorbs light? Related to the measurement of blood light absorption. Hematospectrophotometrically. Oh, okay, I've made reference to this word before, I don't remember why, on the stream, but when I was in my anatomy and physiology class in college, this word came up, and the exercise, we had to create like a PowerPoint, but it had to have spoken words, and we had to use X number of words off of our list of anatomy and physiology terms for that lesson. And we had to be able to pronounce them. That was the whole point, was being able to pronounce the words, not just know what they mean or when they would be used, but actually say them. So this word is, number 19, esophagogastroduodenoscopy. That's a diagnostic procedure examining the esophagus, stomach, and duodenum. 26 letters, but how many syllables is that? Esophagogastroduodenoscopy. Another 12 syllables there. Esophagogastroduodenoscopy. I think that's abbreviated EGD. And then number 20, lymphangioliomyomatosis. Lymphangioliomyomatosis. I'm going to look that one up because I think I'm saying that right. Lymphangioliomyomatosis. Let's see.
Lymphangioliomyomatosis.
I'm going to call that a yes. Lymphangioliomyomatosis. I just don't have to say it as fast as that person. All right. Now we're going to get into some ridiculous stuff here. And this first word is the word that I really can't find anywhere. I found a portion of this name on one of these pronunciation sites, but it didn't have like the last 8 letters in it. But what I learned about this word, beyond the fact that it's a component of a protein's chemical name, which doesn't mean, not generically speaking, this word does not mean that with any chemical name, this is the word that represents. There is a word that is 189,000 plus letters long, and this is part of it. Yes, you read that right, or you heard that right. You can look it up. That's what I learned when I was trying to find some place to tell me how to say this word. But I went to that YouTube guy that I told you about that I'm not going to play because I don't want a copyright strike. And I think this is how you say this word. Methionine, threonyl, glutamyl, laryngeal. Methionine, threonyl, glutamyl. Methionine, threonyl, glutamyl, glutaminolaryngel. Let me look at it again. Methionine, threonyl, glutaminolaryngel. I think that's right. So you'll have to type that in someplace and look at it so you can find that YouTube guy. What is his name? Again, he's a French guy, I think, and he has an accent. Again, he would be very easy for the YouTube magic thing to figure out where I got the sound. 189,000 plus letters in that word, in the whole word. So be glad that, like, I don't think there would be, like, you couldn't say it. Even if you could say it, you could not, like, there's not time enough. There's not time enough available to say that whole word. Okay, so there's the first one in the scientific stunners category. Let's look at this next one. I got to study it a second. Dimethylaminophenyl trimethyl pyrazzoline. Dimethylaminophenyl trimethyl pyrazzoline. That's 38 letters, a chemical compound. Dimethylaminophenyl trimethyl pyrazzoline. That is 15 syllables. Let's see if I'm even anywhere close. Dimethylaminophenyl trimethyl pyrazzoline. Or pyrazzoline. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I copied again. Copy. Paste. I'm glad this site now that I'm using right now has most of them. Oh, that one's not there. Okay, let's try it here. See, I tried that other word on all of these. Not there either. Well, how do I find it? Not there either. So, we may have to rely on that YouTube guy again, but I think just looking at the pieces, dimethylaminophenyl trimethyl pyrazzoline, which is another chemical compound, 38 letters. Number 23, dichlorodifluoromethane. Dichlorodifluoromethane. That doesn't seem too hard. Dichlorodifluoromethane, which is a refrigerant gas. Okay, number 24. Tetrahexahexaheptane. 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 23 letters. It's a type of chemical compound. It looks like it should be simple enough to say that one, right? Not there. So once upon a time, this is the How Just Say site that I just typed it into here. And I used to be able to find everything there. 0 results. So you just have to trust me on some of these. No results. Wow. Tetrahexahexaheptane. So I'm guessing there's some shape stuff in there. Looking at these pieces, like a hexagon, a hexa, a hepta, tetra. I think those are all like shape related. So I guess the layout of the molecules in this compound, in this thing, must be why that is called that. And then here's number 25. Hexacosioe hexacontahexaphobia. Hexacosioe hexacontahexaphobia, which is the fear of the number 666. Oops. Is that right? Are any of these going to have that one? Okay, let's listen to this one. I said hexaconta-hexaphobia. Like I think y'all will remember what I said.
Hexaconta-hexaphobia. Hexaconta-hexaphobia. Hexaconta-hexaphobia.
I kind of was saying that, but why did these people have to say this so fast? Let's see if this one is any slower. Nope, not there. Wow, I was starting to say that. How'd you say site used to have like everything? Every big word. Let's see.
Hexacosia hexaconta hexaphobia.
Hexaconta-hexaphobia. Hexaconta-hexaphobia.
So he's pronouncing that S-I-O kind of like a sh, like an S-H sound. Hexacoshi, whatever. I don't think that's a word I'm ever going to use. I don't fear any numbers in particular. But why would that need a word? Fear of the number 666. Why would that need a word? Okay, number 26. Tetramethylethyline. That does not look tricky to me. That's a hydrocarbon molecule. Tetramethylethyline. Tetramethylethyline. I'm going to go with that. Number 27. Sphygmomanometrically. Sphygmometer is like a blood. Okay, yeah. Sphygmomanometrically. Sphygmomanometrically, related to measuring blood pressure. And if you're as old as I am, so now they've got those things, you just put the cuff on, push the button, and the machine does the work. But back in the old days, we had to wear a stethoscope, we had to have obviously the pressure cuff, and then you had to place your stethoscope in the right spot to be able to hear the blood pumping through the veins, and then you had to make note of when you first started to hear it and when you last heard it, as in what number was it on, what pressure number was it on. And that's how we measured blood pressure back in the old days. All right, so that was sphygmomanometrically. Now number 28. Oh, that was 21 words. Number 28. Anthropomorphologically. Anthropomorphologically. Okay, anthropomorphologically, relating to attributing human traits to objects or animals. Anthropomorphologically. So anthropomorphism, did I say that right? Is assigning human traits or characteristics to animals, which is very hard not to do. It's especially hard not to do when you work with animals and you do rehab or rescue. When you deal with animals a lot, at least for me, it's hard to not do that. It's hard to just remember sometimes they're just animals. They're doing what animals do. There's not some underlying motive or, human thing behind it. They're just being animals. But anthropomorphologically, 23 letters. Spectrophotometrically. Relating to the measurement of light spectra. Spectrophotometrically. Number 30, xenotransplantation. That one's easy enough. Transplanting organs from one species to another. Xenotransplantation. Okay, here comes some words that this says we'll probably never use. I'm going to use them today. Insubstantialities. Things that lack substance. Counter-revolutionaries. People who oppose a revolution. over-intellectualization, analyzing something too much. Disenfranchisement, the act of depriving someone of the right to vote. Thermochromatography, a process of separating compounds by temperature. Thermochromatography. Unconstitutionality, the state of being unconstitutional. Hyperventilation, why would it say we wouldn't use that one? Hyperventilation, breathing too fast, leading to excess oxygen. Uncopyrightables, things that cannot be copyrighted. Why don't you just say it that way? Deinstitutionalization, the process of disbanding an institution. Deinstitutionalization. Oh, anthropomorphization, the process of giving human traits to non-humans. Here's the fun to say but not spell category. Magniloquent, speaking in a lofty or grandiose style. Sesquipedalianism, or this is one that maybe some people just say differently, sesquipedalianism, the use of long words. Perspicaciousness, the quality of having insight. Circumlocutionary, using too many words to express something. Obfuscatory, intentionally making something unclear. Pulchritudinous, physically beautiful. I want to see, because I'm not sure about that CH. Pulchrit, I'm saying it like a hard C. Pulchritudinous. That better be here. Okay, let's listen.
Pulchritudinous. Pulchritudinous.
That person said the U sound a little bit differently. Pulchritudinous, but it was a hard C. Acrimoniously, speaking or acting with bitterness. Idiosyncratically, relating to an individual's unique mannerisms. Quizzicality, a puzzled or questioning attitude, like this whole show today. Unobjectionable, unable to be objected to. And then these are in the advanced vocabulary category. Anti-transubstantiationalist. Anti-transubstantiation. Anti-transubstantiationalist. Anti-transubstantiationalist. Oh, I think I got it there. Anti-transubstantiation. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to get ahead of myself here. Anti-transubstantiationalist. Opposed to transubstantiation. Well, that doesn't tell us much. Anti-transubstantiationalist. Uncontradictorily, without contradiction. Thermodynamically, relating to the science of heat and energy. Irreconcilabilities, things that cannot be made compatible. Gastroenterologically, relating to the digestive system. Uninterchangeably, not capable of being exchanged. Ultramicroscopically, on a very small scale. Compartmentalization, the act of dividing into sections. Subcontrariety, the relation of being subcontrary. Subcontrariety, is that right? Subcontrariety, let's see.
Subcontrariety.
I'm going to say that was a yes, subcontrariety. Number 60, paleomagnetism, the study of Earth's ancient magnetic field. And then here's the rest of the best. We're just about halfway through the list. Unobjectionably, without objection. Misinterpretation and incorrect understanding. Over-imaginative, having too much imagination. Unfathomability, the quality of being incomprehensible. Preponderantly, in greater number or amount. Overcapitalization, too much investment in capital. Supernaturalism, a belief in supernatural forces. Uncontrollability, not able to be controlled. and unceremoniously in a rough or abrupt manner. And continuing with the rest of the best category, electromagnetism, which is the science of magnetic fields and electricity, unsuccessfulness, or the state of being unsuccessful, misunderstanding, a failure to understand something correctly, non-representational, not representing real world things, hyperventilating, breathing too fast, psychotherapeutically, relating to therapy for mental disorders, miscommunication, failure to communicate effectively, oh, hang on. I gotta unlock the screen. I don't usually open the door, but I realized what time it was and thought, oh, that might be Richard, but then I didn't see the car in the driveway because he parked it in the shade. Okay, where were we? Non-transferability, not able to be transferred. Incommunicatively, not able to communicate. Well, not if you have to use that word. Irreplaceableness, not able to be replaced. Disillusionment, the feeling of being let down. Hypochondriacally, in a manner relating to excessive health anxiety. Inaccessibility. Jerry says hi. He said hey. Hypochondriacally, okay. Out. Inaccessibility, the quality of being difficult to reach or access. Uncharacteristic, not typical or usual for someone or something. Reconceptualization, the act of rethinking a concept or idea. Institutionalization, the process of establishing something as a norm. Irresponsibility, the state of lacking responsibility. Unquestionability, not able to be questioned or doubted. Intercontinental, between continents. Hyperconsciousness, an excessive awareness of oneself or one's environment. Disproportionately, disproportionality, the state of being out of proportion. Uncompartmentalized, not divided into sections. Irretrievableness, the state of being unable to recover. Constitutionality, whether something is in accordance with the Constitution. Underrepresentative, not fully or properly represented. Inappropriateness, the quality of being unsuitable or improper. Photosynthesizing, the process by which plants convert light into energy. Antiferromagnetism, a type of magnetism where adjacent ions spin in opposite directions. Misinterpretations, multiple incorrect understandings of something. Microminiaturization, the process of making something very small. Did y'all ever see that movie back in the 60s called The Fantastic Voyage? Was that what it was? Raquel Welch, I think, and David Pleasance, and I don't remember anybody else that was in it. The Fantastic Voyage, and they shrink it's a scientific thing. They shrink these people down into this little, they're in a little spaceship, or they're in it's like a spaceship. They're in this enclosed spaceship. Shrink them down into a size that will go into a hypodermic needle, and they inject it into the bloodstream of whatever patient it is that these scientists or doctors are trying to treat, and they travel around inside the body in this little ship. You know, and you see the white blood cells and the ganglion I think it was called The Fantastic Voyage. I loved that movie. Probably about 1967. Somebody can look that up for me. Microminiaturization. Inapplicabilities. Hey, Joe and Sue at the Bud Files. Thanks for stopping in. Inapplicabilities. There's a word. Applicable or applicable. Inapplicabilities. The state of not being applicable or applicable. Oversimplification. Process of making something simpler than it actually is. Electrocardiography, the measurement and recording of electrical activity in the heart. Hypercholesterolemia, the condition of having high levels of cholesterol in the blood. Oh, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Yeah, they get them really tiny there too. Hypercholesterolemia. Constitutionalizing. The act of establishing or giving something a constitution. Extraterrestrialism, belief in or the existence of life beyond Earth. Thermoregulation, the process of maintaining a stable body temperature. Interrelationship, a mutual relationship between two or more things. Non-representatives, things or people that do not represent something. Some of these words I don't even know why. Why do we need the word? Electromagnetically, relating to electromagnetism, counterintuitively in a manner that goes against intuition, individualistically in a way that emphasizes individual rights or qualities, uncommunicativeness, the quality of being unwilling or unable to communicate. I do think we're going to get to some harder ones here in a minute. Reconceptualizing, rethinking or redefining a concept. Over-intellectualized, having been analyzed too much or in a too intellectual way. Misunderstandingly, in a manner of misunderstanding something. Uncharacteristically, in a way that is unusual for someone or something. Wasn't that already up there? Disenfranchisements. Well, this is just one with a S on it. Over-commercialization, the process of making something excessively commercial. Disenfranchisement. Wasn't that already up there somewhere? Yeah, because I remember reading that definition. Transubstantiation, the belief in the transformation of substances, often used in religious contexts. Irreconcilabilities. Some of these really seem like we've already looked at them. Counterproductively, in a way that is counter to achieving a goal. Disproportionately, in a way that's out of proportion. Yeah, some of these, so we did counter-revolutionaries, so they're just listing the singular of that, like it's another whole word. I'm going to just skim through. Hypersensitivities, that's a new one. Excessive sensitivity to stimuli. Intercontinentalism, involving two or more continents. Intercontinentalism. Anti-discriminatory, opposed to discrimination. We already looked at misinterpretation, I'm pretty sure. Over-industrialization, excessive industrial development. Hyper-responsiveness, excessive reaction to stimuli. Not to be confused with hypersensitivity or hypersensitiveness, which is excessive sensitivity to stimuli. Hyperresponsiveness is excessive reaction to stimuli. Individualistically, we already looked at that. Anti-authoritarianism, opposed to authority or authoritarian systems. Isn't that anarchy? What is anarchy then? Unquestionableness, extraterrestriality, the existence of or origin of life beyond Earth. What was the other extraterrestrial one? I guess I should have looked at this whole list. Where was that other extraterrestrial one? Extraterrestrialism versus, where did that one go? Extraterrestriality. Non-interchangeable, not able to be exchanged, institutionalizing. Overproliferation, the excessive increase of something, like rabbits. Thermodynamically, some of these are just too similar to some of the other ones. Transcendentalism, the philosophy that emphasizes spiritual over material reality. Hey, bye, Jerry. Thanks for stopping in. I'll see you on Monday. I think you're live again on Monday, right? Electrocardiograms, electrocardiograph, overcomplications, the state of being unnecessarily complicated. Hyperconsciousness. Didn't we already look at that? Ununderstandability. What is the purpose of some of these words? Somebody was just milking the clock to sit around and think up all this stuff. Electrotherapies, counter-revolutions. Just, I don't really like, okay. So that's the, that was 150. So that's the list. Let me pull up the page of that longest word and see if that comes up for you. Okay. Yeah, this should have it. But again, we can't even put it on the screen. But here's that word. Remember that methional, threonal, glutaminyl, larginal word? Oh, I thought it would show more than that, but it doesn't. Oh, see, a lot of these are on this same list here. Okay. And then there's some weird spelling. Wow, I'm worn out. I don't feel like I butchered them too badly. I'm really glad to have had that website. It looks like only that one really had any of the words we looked for, right? Maybe one of the other websites had one that I couldn't find on that first page, that hexahepta something zolanine, whatever word. So I don't expect any of us will remember any of these words after today's stream ends. So just count it a little brain exercise while it was happening, because it's not anything I can do anything with. Some of these words are like that. When we talked about numbers, when we did the Did You Know, and we talked about a novemdecillion, but then we learned that even bigger than a novemdecillion is a Google, and even bigger than a Google is a Googleplex. So like, who here would have a point of reference for a lot of these words? I mean, it's just not something you would use. You would never need these words. And I think some of these words, my point being, some of these words seem to be similar to the concept of those numbers, those ridiculously large numbers that you'll never use, you'll never need them. There's no purpose for them in everyday life. You know, in a virtual sense, they will come in handy for, you know, fantasy, you know, storytelling and humor and stuff like that. Maybe they have a place, but some of these words, I wouldn't want to have a job. I'm wiping off my lens or my camera. I wouldn't want to have a job where I have to use any of these words. Whoa, what a boring job that would be if you have to talk like that. All right, so those are our words. I thought we might try a little bandle today, because that's been a while. I just got to remember again how to make it show up on the screen. So where is it? Where did it go? Oh, it's trying to load. And it does take a little while for that to load. I haven't played it since whenever the last time was we played it here on the show. I forgot to say at the beginning of the show, I'll say it now. Thank you to those that are here live today. I would love to know how many of the words we just looked at you were able to say just looking at them. But you know, language, again, so language, it's the same whatever language you're speaking. I've made reference before to the fact that I speak French, but because I don't use it, it's not, I don't think in French really anymore. And so if I see a French word, it takes me a while sometimes to remember what it is. I mean, some just like any of the other words in your native tongue. You know, the more you use them, the more familiar they are to you, and you know them. But other words that you don't use very often or you haven't seen in a while, takes a little while. So, I've got the Bandle game up. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, we're going to do this. Oh, we're going to add this. Okay, we're going to add this here, and we're going to see if we can get that other thing on the screen right quick. Yeah, this is what happened last time, wasn't it? Okay, so maybe I don't need a window capture. I don't know why it won't show me that. Maybe I need... What are my other options? I don't think it's game capture. Let's see what this does. No, it's not that. I know nobody would remember what I did when I got it to show up on the screen, because this happened before, didn't it? I just don't know why it won't capture that window. Huh. And it will also won't make that whole full screen. It won't do full screen for me. So I have window capture. It's not a browser, I don't think. I don't think that would be considered a browser. Nope, because that's not even an option there. Okay. Oh well, maybe we're not going to play Bandle today. I'm just on this song kick lately, and so that reminded me. Oh wait, screen. Where's just like a screen capture? Application audio. Display capture. Let's try that. That's what I need. That's what I need. There we go. There we go. All right, let's see if we remember how to do this. Okay, so do y'all remember how this works? Hey, Face the Ace, thanks for stopping in today. I finished up my list of ridiculous words that none of us will ever use unless we happen to be on Jeopardy or in a spelling bee. And now I thought we'd play a little bit of Bandle before I turn everybody loose. So we'll look at the daily Bandle. And again, the way this works is you try to guess the song using only certain components of the song. It doesn't play the person singing it for copyright reasons, but you'll get to hear sets of instruments or single instruments at a time in the hopes that you can guess the song. So it does give us some clues though. So this song has had 931 million views on YouTube. It was released in 2011, and its difficulty is considered very hard, which alarms me because I couldn't even manage the easy categories when we did this before. It's in the pop hip-hop genre, but let's see what happens when we listen to just the drums and the bass. Again, 2011, so take your mind back to 2011 and feel free in the chat to shout out if you think you know what the song is as soon as you know. Any guesses just with that drums and bass? 2011. Okay, my first grandson, my third grandchild was born in June of 2011. We lived in Valley Ranch. We only had 3 cats at the time. Okay, let's add the next set. Nothing? Me neither. So now we're going to add the electric guitar, see if we can get it. so familiar, but this also seems like a progression of notes and stuff that might have been common in a lot of different songs. I got nothing. So now we're going to add backing vocals. I don't remember if it really plays voices or if it's just an instrument that plays the voices. Let's see. Nobody?
Africa, Tilda.
No, it's too new for that. That's funny. So Richard said Toto, Africa, and that, again, like I said, I think these notes, these chords and things seem like they might fit with a lot of different songs. So that was one of the first things I thought. I felt the rain down in Africa. But this 2011, that wasn't in 2011. All right, so now we're going to add, again, notice so it wasn't really voices, even though it says it's the backing vocals, but it's the tune of the backing vocals. So let's see what happens when we get the voice part, the tune of the voice part, if we can figure it out. Does seem familiar, but I got nothing. Let's see what happens when we try to get a clue. Well, whatever that means, Dolby Heart. Let's see what happens here. It says you're about to reveal the answer. Well, okay, if that's all that's next, then that's all that's next. The song was Gym Class Heroes, Stereo Hearts featuring Adam Levine. I mean, that's not a song that if you said the name of that I would remember what that song was. But it's kind of rings a bell. It's one of those on the tip of your tongue kind of things. I didn't know that one. Let's see. Oh, wait, let's look at this one. Okay. Okay, so here's one. This is in the easy category. Doesn't help me much most of the time. It was released in the year 2000. It's had 1.1 billion with a B views on YouTube. And it's in the hip-hop rap genre. 2000. So I'm trying to think of who was big in 2000, hip-hop rap. Let's just go for it. Again, shout it out in the chat if you think you know what it is. As soon as you know. I have a guess already. I'm going to give you guys a minute before I make my guess. If I'm wrong, we'll find out together as we make our way through. But I think I know what it is. And I think the year, I think that timing would work right, which is mind-boggling to think that, wow. Anybody got guesses? I think it's The Real Slim Shady by Eminem. Let's keep going and see if I'm right. Am I right? So I'm not going to say I'm like an Eminem fan. I don't follow Eminem. I can't tell you what he's done recently. But there's something about this song that makes me think that's what it is. It's so right. It sounds like an Eminem song. And that would fit hip hop and rap, right, Connie? That would fit. And the year 2000, that would fit. I still think there's something about that very beginning that makes me think it was the real Slim Shady. So now we're going to get a clue, which means it's going to be revealed. That's okay with me. The genuine Slight Shady. I'm Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady. That was it. I'm Slim Shady, the real Slim Shady. I don't know that I could sing that song. But, okay, I feel a little better. Again, that was the easy category. Next song. Oh, here's a test for me. 1975 release, 1.9 billion with a B views. It's an easy song. Difficulty is easy. And the genre is rock, hard rock, pop. I better get this one. So those drums seem like they could go with a lot of stuff. Which means they didn't help me. I almost thought when it did that descending thing, it was kind of a Beatles-ish thing. But the Beatles weren't still Beatles in 75. I don't think. Oh, maybe they were. Maybe they were. We're going to find out here when we get to some more instruments. This is Queen, right? This is Queen. Is this Bohemian Rhapsody? But it doesn't start out with drums. But that bass sure did sound Queenish. Let's keep going. 1975? That would be about right, wouldn't it? Okay, let's see. That's gotta be Bohemian Rhapsody. That's got to be Bohemian Rhapsody. Sorry if there was echo there. I know it happens when I turn my mic back on. I'm gonna guess Bohemian Rhapsody unless someone else has a better guess. But that was it. Wow, that's funny that it would start off with those drums because I think of that a cappella thing that starts it off, and I don't remember drums coming in the beginning. It seems like it's just the piano after the a cappella part, right? I'm gonna have to listen to that song again now. All right, let's do the next one. I think there's only a couple more songs in this free pack for today. All right, this song was released in 2013. It's had 1.2 billion views on YouTube. It's in the pop genre, and it is considered very hard 2013. That's the year we moved here to RichKatRanch. 2013. So what was going on in 2013? Okay, let's just find out. Let's start making our way through these layers. Is that supposed to help? And now we know it might start with drums, even though the drums are not what started a song. That didn't tell me anything. So we're going to add the bass and the synthesizer now. Let's see what happens now when we add the electric guitar and strings. I mean, that sounds familiar. Oh my goodness, what is it? Okay, we're going to add the voice, the tune of the voice now. I don't think that added the voice, did it? It's showing voice now, so let's try that again. I can't believe that's been that long ago. Anybody got guesses? I'm about to make a guess. Oops. That vocal part was yeah, Wrecking Ball. I've never sung any Miley Cyrus. I don't know if I want to sing any Miley Cyrus. Nothing against Miley Cyrus, but I can't think of her stuff being my style. Okay, that was the last of the free songs for today. Wow, it was considered very hard. That's because without the voice part, you don't have any idea what it is. Destructive Ball was the clue. Right, we're going to turn that off. I'm going to test that Video Ninja thing while we're here. While y'all are here, you can tell me how you hear it and stuff like that. If I can get the phone going. So again, I have a phone that I use for recording. I have my phone that I use for talking on the phone and texting and playing games and stuff. So I've been charging this other phone. And I gotta go to the Video Ninja site to get the room ID. Video Ninja, okay, here we go. Guest one. Alright, so here's where I have to do. I have to go to a browser and I have to type in did that do it? Join room with camera. Start. Let's turn it this way. Let's go here. Where is it? Oh, okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay. I'm working out the kinks here. I don't know if y'all can hear me. And I don't know why that's upside down. And notice I have it behind the chair now because I'm trying to mitigate the. Let's try this. Okay. I'm going to move away from the computer. So I'll have to get a report from y'all when I come back on how it worked. I can still hear it coming through the computer as I'm stepping outside. But we're just going to walk away from the desk there. There's my girl Serena. She's got to be in her diapers now. Yeah, that's kind of something that's been going on too. We discovered the hard way that her little mattress that she sleeps on in the bedroom. Oh, I'm too close. Good girl. Good girl. But you got a diaper on, honey. Oh, daddy. Oh, okay. So we discovered that the match she's had the Tempur-Pedic mattress that she sleeps on in the bedroom. And we discovered that obviously because she's lost so much sensation in her back end, she could not feel the urge to go to the bathroom during the night. And it's hard for her to get around too. So for however long, she's just been relieving herself during the night as she sleeps. That was not a fun thing to discover. I mean, we have to throw that out. We're going to have to throw that out and get her something else to sleep on. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't think to take that diaper off of you. But, if this is what makes it work for her and makes it work for us, then that's what we're going to do. I did order some so she's got a disposable diaper on, but I ordered these cloth diaper things that have suspenders on them. I ordered those from Amazon this morning because I put a diaper on her last night. Yesterday or the day before was the first day that I've put a diaper on her. Yeah, it had to have been yesterday because yesterday is when we discovered that she had just soaked right through her little Tempur-Pedic mattress thing. I should have turned it this way. Yeah, we'll turn it this way, and y'all can listen to me while I show you the ducks. So, yesterday evening was when we discovered that she had just soaked right through that Tempur-Pedic mattress. So, we had to clean the carpet. We were throwing that mattress out. Hey, Tater. Hey, Tater. Tater. Say hi to everybody. Pretty girl. Come on, Gucci. Does it feel good, Serena? Does it feel good? Oh, is that sideways now? Now what's happening? Oh, well, this was just for a test. Well, what did I just do? Oh, I don't know why this reoriented itself. All right, I'm heading back in. Huh. Is it upside down? That's a lead rope hanging there. Oh. Oh, well, that's okay. Okay, I think that worked because I could hear it. I could hear it as I was leaving the house to go out to the backyard. But I don't know what I did that made it reorient itself, which shouldn't be a big deal because if I use it for cooking chat, again, Richard will either be holding it, excuse me, the whole time, or it'll be on my little tripod thing. So it won't get turned around and flipped, front to back and all that stuff. But I think that's going to be the solution to the problem. But that's all I have for you today. Next week, if I can do enough editing so that I don't step on any toes as far as copyright issues with the funny police encounters and DUI sobriety tests and stuff videos, then that's what we'll do. But if I can't get that done, then I think we're gonna just look at some. I've already started a list of like funny and weird product reviews, like Amazon reviews. I've learned a couple of things looking at some of those stuff that I did not know you could get on Amazon. I don't understand why anybody would need this one particular thing that you can order on Amazon. I haven't gone to Amazon to really verify that it's available, but it looks like at least at some point you could get it on Amazon. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, so you'll just have to watch the show when that stream airs. So I've got like a backup plan already started, and I'll just have some funny pictures to go with them like I do with a lot of the streams where I have the funny, the AI creates the pictures for me. We have beautiful weather today. Again, I know more rain and storms are coming, but I'm thankful that it's beautiful. The temperature is beautiful. The windows are open. We're just letting nature keep us comfortable. And I'm going to go have a very late lunch and get ready for Kobe to arrive here in a couple of hours. And I will see you on Sunday. We'll do a cook and chat on Sunday. So I'll get that stream set up here in the next, few hours. And then for sure I'll see you next Friday. It'll be a toss-up on whether or not we're going to do what I've wanted to do the last couple of times or my backup plan, one of my backup plans. But I hope you had fun today. Again, thanks to those who were here with me live. Thanks to those who are watching as part of the rewatch crew. If you will, give the stream a like, share it with your friends. And if you're not a subscriber already, it would mean so much to me if you will help me grow my little YouTube family here by hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you anything. It means a lot to me. And I'll be happy to grow my little family. So be safe, be happy, be well. Enjoy good weather if you're having good weather. Be careful if you're not having good weather. And I'll see you next time. I love you all. Bye. Thanks, Connie. Bye, guys.